Welcome back to session 2 of Hope to Hope Conference. We're so glad you're here. We have an amazing guest to tell you about. I'm super excited. She is like phenomenal.
Yeah.
And we are, oh my goodness. Oh, do you want to introduce her?
Oh my God, I get to introduce Wanda McKinley with
Yes.
We Are Survivors. She is awesome. Wanda is beautiful. She has the biggest heart. She's helping women all across, well, people, not just women, all across the world, know that they are survivors. They may have gone through some tough times and some abuse and some other things, but they are survivors. And Wanda has an amazing story.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've never heard Wanda tell her story, I can't wait for a book. So Wanda is amazing. So hey, you guys get to meet the one and only, the beautiful, the amazing, the one who God has delivered to tell this story and to do this work and to fulfill the purpose in her life. Miss Wanda McKinley.
Welcome.
How are you ladies this morning?
We are awesome. I'm awesome.
Yes, we are awesome. We just couldn't wait for you to get on.
This is really, I can see you too.
You can see us. We can see you.
So I guess that's a testimony to like princesses learning things, because the first session was not what we meant it to be, but now we have figured out what buttons to push.
I want to know what button she pushed. I don't know what she pushed.
So Sharonda should be proud of us.
Yes, yes.
So Miss Wanda, I would love for you to just start us off by just telling us whatever's on your heart about the vulnerability. This conference is about the power of vulnerability, and it's called the Hope to Hope Conference because we want to spread hope to those who are hurting and those who are stuck and those who are trying to do something different in their lives. And I know we have information that's privy that you have done amazing things from your vulnerability. Mm-hmm. We'd love to hear, just tell us about the things that caused you to have such power in your life coming from those places of vulnerability.
Okay. I just want to first start off and say that the reason why I'm able to do what I do to let people know that haven't heard my story. From the age of 7, I was 7, because as of right now, that is the youngest that I can remember. Because of the event that occurred, my mother walked in with my father on top of me. It wasn't the first time. The time he was caught. So I'm praying that God will reveal to me one day actual age that. As for right now, the earliest I can remember is the a little bit of background about, because a lot of survivors, especially females, a relationship with their mother strained or either non-existent, because the mother in certain situations, certain cases, blame the child for what occurred. So me and my mother's relationship was, oh my goodness, I can't say non-existent, but it was really extremely strained. It was pulled in many different directions because my mother felt like she was in competition with me. My mother was a stay-at-home mom. My father was in the military, so my father was a breadwinner. And on this journey, I've learned so much about predators and abusers, and their whole do is to make you feel like you have to have them. You have to, so they strip you of what's necessary for your own. And that's a lot of reasons why I stay with their abuser, because that's you say bloodline, because without them, you don't how you're going to survive. So my mother was a stay-at-home mom, and she had 3 kids. But when she did walk in on my father, she did leave my father. But my father, being my father, took her back into his life. We went back, and so the abuse picked up. And so at the age of 12, my mother finally said enough was enough, and she left my father. And my grandmother, who's now deceased, my father's mother, she knew what was going on, kept me very active, and she tried to make sure that when she was around, that I was protected. And I say all of this now, wow, there were so many adults that knew what was going on, but for whatever their personal reasons, didn't really do anything to remove me from that situation. So at the age of 12, my mother finally left my dad for the 3rd time. And when I say left, I mean like divorced for the 3rd time. So they were married and divorced. It wasn't like she just walked out and came. They went through the process, got a divorce, got married again, got a divorce, got married again, and then got divorced for the 3rd time. That's how much control my father had on my mother. So at the age of 12, we left San Antonio and moved here to the Dallas area, where my mother met her 2nd ex-husband. And I can remember at the age of 13, he was sitting on the floor, and me and my mom was sitting on their bed watching TV. And he told my mother that he wanted to marry me instead of her. Now, me being a mother, that would have been your push out the door. That would have been your exit right then and there. My mother still married this man, knowing how he felt about it. My stepfather raped me at the age of 13 and took my virginity. Now, my mother walked in on a situation where she given me money for her birthday, child, 13 years old, in junior high. I gave him a hug just to say thank you, and I walked out. No idea that he had gotten an erection. My mother walked in and said that, and my mother jumped on me from behind, not knowing. I sent her. Needless to say, she never did receive the birthday. So my father, every year for my birthday, I would be flown to San Antonio to spend time with my dad, despite the fact. So, my father, on my 14th birthday, decided he wanted to be my first, not knowing that my stepfather had already raped me. So my biological father began to rape me until the age of 18. So my stepfather and my biological me until I turned. My mother, being aware of this, said it was my fault. It was something that I was doing to cause the men in her life to want to be with me. At the age of 19, when I thought I had escaped the abuse, I met my ex-husband. And to the age of 31, I went through physical, emotional, sexual, financial, and spiritual abuse. My ex-husband has busted my eardrum. He's attempted to set me on fire while our child was in the house. My ex-husband has raped me several times. I don't understand, when you tell your husband no, no means no. So if your husband still persists on having sex with you, that is also considered rape. So I went through 24 consecutive years of abuse. A lot of people ask me, how did I make it through it? How did I survive? And why am I doing what I'm doing now? I am blessed to be one of those that can actually say I know my purpose in life. And God showed me one evening my purpose in life was to be transparent and to be vulnerable, to let individuals know, be it a child, a female or male, of what I endured and what I went through, to let them know that if they just trust and believe in him, he will bring you through it. And that is where my strength comes from. Do I have my moments of anger and breakdown? I do. And I actually, when I began my journey almost 3 years ago, my family has been split up, and I didn't share this at the conference, but because I've been obedient to God and because I listened to him, even though I went through what I went through with my dad, God separated those feelings. I didn't feel angry. I didn't feel what I feel now. I wanted mother and father relationship, despite what's going on. I still desired that. And I think compensating because of what he was doing. But me and my father was extremely example. God, what are you doing? I said, well, Dad, I'm getting ready for church. It's Sunday. You know what I'm doing. He says, I'm going to go to church with you. I said, Dad, you live in San Antonio. Stop playing. It's 10:30 and I got to be at church. My dad says, open the door. My dad had gotten up just that early, was dressed in his Sunday best, and was parked outside my house. He drove all the way from San Antonio to my house, went to church with me, ate Sunday dinner, and drove back. That is the relationship me and my father had. When God said to me, my child, what you have to do, and when I finally listened and decided to be obedient, my father called me. It'll be 3 years in November since I received that call. And my father, just simply to make a long story short, told me to be careful of what I say and don't spread lies. And I just more. You cannot convince me that what happened door. And that was, it was like I said, be 3 years ago in November. I have a and my sister and I were best friends to the point that when my car broke down, she would give me her car and find a way to work. My sister has not spoken to me, and it'll be 3 years as well. So our family has been divided. My father and sister doesn't speak to me, my mother, or my brother, because my mother now supports me. My mother now is my backbone. My mother and I have healed and still healing because we're learning things. I didn't know as much. I didn't know my mother was being abused because my father hid that as well. I didn't know my dad had pushed my down the stairs when she was 8 months pregnant with my brother. It's so many things now that are coming out that it's helped us heal our relationship. And my mother apologized, and it was sincere. My mom told me he loved me for the first time. I didn't know how to receive that. My stepfather, on the other hand, when I called to let him know what I was doing, my stepfather, and I only use that term so people will know the role he played in my life, because he never truly was a stepfather. He actually told me that he was still in love with me, and that he still to this day owned pennies that I had on that raped me, and that he had considered not once but twice kidnapping me because he still wanted to be with me. And hearing words from him, it took me back to the night that he raped me. And I was outside when I was on the phone with him, and I can remember actually crawling in the trunk of my car and screaming because I felt like he was raping me all over again. Because you have to realize, I didn't deal with those emotions then. God knew then I wasn't ready to deal with what I was going through. So now that I'm in that place where I'm seeking God and God is leading me, the emotions that I held on to now they're right here in my face. They're right here, and I have to deal with them. But a lot of people don't understand. I tell them they see the fancy hair and the cute outfits, but they don't understand how many tears fall behind those smiles that they see when they see me. So it's just a snippet.
I want to say, though, Miss Wanda, that you are um, you are precious because you shared those vulnerable bits, that there are millions of people who have a similar story of abuse where the adults put in authority over you by birth or by, other means, did not protect you.
Mm-hmm.
And you could have gotten very bitter, and you could have been very mean, and you could have become an abuser yourself, which is, what happens sometimes is that, not in the same way, but you could have been never trusting anyone and never allowing that vulnerable spot to be shared. I just want to commend you. I want to say I know that this is hard, and I know you are so precious in the fact that this is not your favorite thing to do, is to speak in front of everyone. But the fact that you're willing to do that so that other people can have an option. Because, when you're little, you don't understand that you have any options. Right. And when you are not aware of places that you can go, even as an adult, you were abused. Domestic violence is real. And that is another thing that a lot of people discount. The things, and you say something that I've never heard before, which is you are not just abused physically and mentally and emotionally. You talk about being abused financially and spiritually, and I actually never thought of that, but it's true. I mean,
And sometimes when somebody has gone through your journey, Wanda, the first person they want to blame is God. God, why would you continuously let me go through this? I mean, what did I do that was so wrong? And then we start sabotaging our own bodies. We'll sabotage, everything, because we I don't want anybody to look at me. I don't want somebody to look at me and get an erection. Like you were saying, your stepdad just got an erection for no reason. That's not your. You can't control someone else's erection, but somebody's looking for somebody else to blame. And I know we could probably get into that position. I mean, just listen to your story. Like, okay, well, someone was just looking for someone else to blame instead of attacking the person head on. But I'm gonna tell you something, Pastor Marcus said your story is going to free millions of people, and I thank you, Pastor Marcus, for being on and saying that. Because I know it will. I mean, a lot of people have rallied. They will rally together for breast cancer, for leukemia, and all these great causes. But no one wants to rally together for survivors of domestic violence, are alive to tell the story, to let women and families know that you don't have to do that anymore, and that you don't have to let that past dictate your future. Right. And Wanda, I know you personally, or kind of personally, but I'm so glad that you are walking in your purpose.
And I'm proud of you. That's another thing that just knowing how difficult it is to be transparent, and knowing that one of the reasons that you will end up with people not wanting to hear what you have to say is because they haven't dealt with their
own demons,
and their own past of abuse. I mean, it's very difficult to see someone who has escaped and is doing the things that you're doing, because I don't want to spend the whole time on what happened. I want to spend the rest of the time on how amazing you are and what you've done with this. But just knowing that your transparency created this power. You could have let that power stay hidden by the secrets and by not being honest about it, because, as a victim, it is embarrassing sometimes to talk about that. We didn't choose that. Right. But it's embarrassing to tell those kind of things. And I think it's so powerful. I'm just going to keep using that word.
And Pastor Howard just texted. He said, God is proud of you, Wanda. He's telling the story. You don't know the people that you're touching. and the people that you're helping to get healed, all by his name, because you still love God.
Yes.
And I'm so grateful. I mean, I'm grateful because, you know, we have this fighter is similar. And I know we want to be one voice, but I just cannot wait for you to tell how even how your strength
Yes.
Was made whole in spite of all of this.
And Pastor Marcus, I just want to tell you, I'm so glad you joined us, because I want you to, and your beautiful princess, to know this lady. She needs to speak at your church. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying too, Pastor Marcus.
We love you, Pastor Marcus. But I want you to tell us, Miss Wanda, about like what, from that spot, where are you now? Because you are impacting millions of people and will impact millions and millions more by the simple things that you showed up for.
Yes.
Tell us how you showed up in life and changed all of those years of thinking you had to do that and thinking that was all there was. Tell us what happened that brought you to today.
Well, I know for me, my strength, my why. A lot of people say, "What is your why?" My why was my daughter. I have a beautiful 4-year-old daughter, and I just wanted to break the cycle. I wanted to show her that it was more to life than what her mom was going through. And I know as moms, we try to protect our children so much, and we think that we did that. And it was a shocker to me when I did sit down and talk to my child about what God had told me to do, that some of the things she already knew. But my strength, my willpower, my push it's all God. I sit back. I don't think about, honestly, I don't think about how many people I'm changing or how many lives I'm changing. I'm just being obedient, and I'm doing what I was told to do. Because honestly, wrapping my head around all that he is doing for me and all that he has done, because I didn't want to do any of this. I still really honestly am so uncomfortable with it, that I know my steps are ordered by him. My words are ordered by him. When I'm asked to speak, I've had a couple of people ask me, well, you don't take notes? You don't have anything that you want, like a PowerPoint slide? I don't know what I'm going to say or do until I'm standing in front of his people. And I just always pray for him to, whatever someone needs to hear, if it's that one person, then God, give me the words. So I'm really walking with him in this whole journey. I say that we all have the same journey. We're just on different paths. Your path is different from mine, but ultimately our goal is to bring people. If I can show someone, yes, I was different things. I was the breadwinner, and I had to ask them, if I can show somebody that this is what I went through. Yes, God allowed these things to happen to me, but he brought me through them. And no matter what you're going through, he can also bring you through. So his children, because I'm a testimony. I can show somebody that, okay, we think, oh, or car breakdown or something happens, but I'm here to show you and to tell you that, okay, this happened to me. If he can do this for me, he can do that for you. Our stories may be different, but we both need him, and he's our father. So for me, my story, yes, it is what it is. But because of the power of my story, it wows people to think, okay, you're not in a straitjacket. You're not a cutter. You're not popping pills. You do walk with your head up. You do smile. You are happy, and it's because of God. that's my strength. That's my why. That's why I'm doing, to show people that he's real. He's real.
Well, when you walked into the Run Women's Conference in Dallas, I I thought you were so beautiful walking in. I had no idea how beautiful you were on the inside at that moment. But I thought you walk in with such a presence that I wanted to know who you were immediately. And then when I heard your story, I'm like, can I just sit by you? Can I just sit close? Because
Oh.
you are amazing. You just are amazing. Can you tell us though? I want everybody to know what you're doing because now, I mean, you have. I mean, I'm just in awe. I'm in awe because I've seen enough, and I've seen the conference information, but I want everybody to know what it is that you have going on.
She has a lot. She has a lot. Can't wait for her to tell it.
Okay. Well, I'll talk about I stutter when I talk about myself because I feel uncomfortable. But the International Women's Conference, I had the honor of actually speaking at the International Women's Conference last year. Last year it was held in Finland, and that's where I received my International Humanitarian Award. And it's kind of funny because my sister Deborah, who is actually from Africa, her organization is located in Lagos as well as Finland. And when I got there, she was like, "Sister, can you do me a favor?" And I'm like, "Sure, why not? You got me over here. How hard could it be?" So she's like, "I want the entire conference." And I chuckled. I said, "Because I've never emceed anything. So sure, how bad could it be?" So when I saw the names of all the people that I had to pronounce, so this year, and she says, "Sister," she says, "I know you kept saying you were going to get me back." And Linnell, my VP of PR, she says, "I cannot pronounce her name." And I got so tickled. So her and I have this inside joke. When she comes, she doesn't know she's emceeing some of this program, and I'm going to see how she can pronounce our name. But it's going to be its third International Women's Conference, and we have women coming from Nepal, out of Asia. We have Rwanda, Cameroon. I'm hoping I'm saying that correctly. We have a first lady of a state from Nigeria that's coming. We have individuals coming from Europe, Spain. We have people coming from the United States. About the states.
Me?
I'll be there. Ohio. We have vendors coming from far as Florida. It's been an interesting process because for us being Americans, I don't think we understand how blessed we are. Because when I flew to Europe, all I needed was my passport. Now they're coming here, I've had to do an invitation letter to the U.S. embassies in their different countries, along with information regarding the conference. And they have to go through this process where they have to have a scheduled meeting face-to-face with these people at the embassy and explain to them why it's so important for them to come to this conference. That part of the process has really blown my mind because people are going through so much to get here. Just to be, and some of these individuals have never been to the United States at all. My partner in Europe, she's never been to the United States. So I'm excited because the venue that I chose, it's the Hall of State building in Fair Park. The Hall of State, never been inside, has so much history about America and the things, even the different times. So for me, have people coming from other countries who've never been to the United States. That's how much thought I put in this process. I thought, more can it be to have them here in this building, and they. So we have that International Women's Conference. That's August 25th to the 26th. It begins Friday. The doors open at 8. Our sessions begin at 9. And we're going to include some, like a scavenger hunt. And there's going to be questions. And the answers to those questions are going to be hidden in the building. So I'm going to make sure the people that are coming from other countries learn a little bit about the U.S. history. So when they leave back, they're going to leave back with some nuggets about the United States. And so we have that Friday from 9 to 4. And then Saturday.
I better do my hair.
Huh?
I better go and study some history books. I skipped a couple of those classes in high school.
Can I just wear a tiara? Can I just wear a tiara and somebody help me?
You'll do fine.
Well, I want to point out something, though, about you that I love. And that is, you go through and you tell us, like, the horrific things that happen. And then you're going to tell us about now. And you said, yeah, I won the humanitarian award, and then blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, she skated right over that.
You were trying to skate right past that. And
and then you're doing a conference with all of these great people coming from all over the world, and your name is mentioned. Wanda, that is phenomenal. Who would have thought this little girl who lost her innocence, now her name is spoken amongst great people?
Yes.
If that's not God, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Look at that, Wanda.
Yes.
Who would have thought little you, who was just playing in the room, just playing with her dolls, just playing around, went through this horrible situation and just thought, thinking I'm just a nobody and people are just attacking me. Why? And now your name is amongst not just great people in America, but all over the country. Countries. I'm sorry, plural. I'm sorry. That's too. But wow, Wanda. Oh my God. And can I just read this from Pastor Marcus? He says the Spirit of God speaks on your behalf to ensure that those that show up get what is needed from your testimony to begin their own healing journey. So this has been amazing. Make sure she gets my information. I'm like, okay, Pastor Marcus. But oh my God, I mean, God has so much.
Yeah, Pastor Marcus, since you're on and listening, and you know that you're my very one of my besties, I think that we should do something in Tulsa.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, with Miss Wanda, and bring some healing to Oklahoma as well.
And she can bring her crew with her. We'll be her entourage. I'll carry your train and your purse. Can I just carry your purse?
I have a big crown. I'll share.
Okay, we'll share the crown. That was pretty. I like
well, you saw it firsthand.
Yes.
And I know Wanda talking so much about the Pastor Howard said, absolutely, Kim, let's do it. Okay, Wanda, we're tell her now we're part of the PR crew. You going to Oklahoma?
Hey, I'll let her know.
Well, and I want to give a shout out to Pastor Marcus though, because Pastor Marcus is a little powerhouse himself. He is actually a TBN host. And he does all kinds of amazing things, but he's a pastor who believes in marketplace ministry. And he is doing incredible things in Tulsa. He's doing incredible things all over the world. And he has taken a concept that I love, and he has church in the mall.
Wanda.
He doesn't just have church like a little church house. He's got the whole mall.
In the mall.
Wow.
So
I'm loving it.
and I've been there personally, Just saying, he's one of my besties. Did I mention that he's one of my besties?
But you know what? What Wanda has not mentioned, she has her own radio show. Wanda's doing it. Wanda, tell us about your radio show. Okay, I'm sorry. Tell her now I'm not taking her job. I'm sorry.
So just cut to the chase, Miss Wanda. And it's the radio show, so we can all tune in.
Okay, well, I actually have two shows. I have a weekly blog talk radio. since I must say it, I have a weekly blog talk radio show that's every Thursday from 6 to 7. And then every first and third Friday, we have a live streaming television / radio show. And it's called We Are Survivors with Wanda McKinley. You can actually watch it live from the Facebook page, We Are Survivors with Wanda McKinley, or watch it live online from powerplayradio.com. And on both the shows, go ahead.
So, Wanda, are you going to be broadcasting live at the women's conference? I'm going to conjugate my verbs. I got to do history, and I got to practice. I got to get my Hooked on Phonics CD.
I can't reveal all that's going to be going on, but there will be a lot of media there.
Okay, so if Kim is wearing a tiara, I just need to know how to dress. Be beautiful.
Formal. Very nice.
No,
very
okay. Oh, and Pastor Marcus said, please post. We got to post a link in the page for your radio when it airs, because he said he needs to be watching and listening.
Yes.
So
we have a show this Friday, as a matter of fact.
This Friday, I'll let him know.
Yes.
Yes. And
We Are Survivors do want to advertise and market. We do now have our own apparel line. So we have a line of different shirts, and we're working on bracelets, survivor bracelets.
Well, I want to say I saw some pictures, and you were rocking those shirts and bracelets.
Yes, gotta get the word out. Gotta get the awareness out.
Well, okay. Tell us one more time when the conference is, so that we can get that in the comments, because we want to make sure that people can get connected to you, like that they can actually get tickets if there are any tickets left. I don't know, it may be sold out because I'm not sure, but that they can get tickets, and they can get your t-shirts or bracelets, or like, how can they get in touch with you?
Well, they can go to the website, which is, of course, www.wearesurvivorsfoundation.org. The number to the organization is 214-454-2933. If you go to, it's easier to go to eventbrite.com and put in the 3rd International Women's Conference, because I laugh, I cannot pronounce my partner's organization. Can't pronounce it. I'm going to have to practice. But it is the 3rd International Women's Conference. It's also, of course, on Facebook. And it's, like I said, Friday, August 25th from 9 to 4. And then Saturday from 9 to noon. We get out early because the doors open for the gala at 7. Dinner will be served at 7:30. We have an amazing, ginormous fashion show during dinner, so you can have some entertainment. And then we're gonna have a moment where we're gonna have some I can't tell everything, but at 9 o'clock, we're gonna transition to the bottom floor, to the auditorium, where we have guests, like I said, from all over the world. We actually have, they call her Mother Africa. She, of course, is from Africa. She's going to be performing, playing the drums. So I'm excited about that. We have a lot of things.
And that's on Saturday?
Saturday night. Open at 7.
And the gala is red carpet.
Uh-oh.
Yes. The tickets, you should post pictures of the tickets because just the tickets
are beautiful.
Are beautiful.
And I know Kim is going to come with her hair wind blowing machine. And so I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to stand behind her and see just my eyebrows will start blowing. I don't know.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Well,
informed that this will now be an annual event here in the States. So, yeah.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I was trying to get back to them. I was trying to get back.
Oh my God, this is so awesome, Wanda. Are you serious? This is good. I didn't know about this part. I'm excited. Okay.
Well, the part that I'm excited about is just the fact that you were willing to come on here. I do understand this is a big deal. And I am thoroughly, thoroughly, thoroughly honored that you accepted my request to come on with us because I know this is not your favorite, but look at how much you've done, my friend. Look at all the amazing sauce that has come out of and the power that's come out of you being vulnerable.
Yes.
I mean, if there's anybody out there watching us and you're going through some things that are along this line, I mean, I do hope you reach out because there is hope. There is hope to not only get out of those situations, but to turn your life into something so majestic. I mean, God definitely gave you beauty for ashes.
Yes. Yes.
I just thank you for inviting me on the show.
Oh,
you're welcome.
Very uncomfortable. I just know that every time I do open my mouth and I do speak, that there's something I'm saying that someone needs to hear. Whether I ever know or not, that I know that it's a reason why every time I'm asked to speak, that I'm asked to speak. So all I can do is tell my story and pray that whomever hears it or reads it, it touches them, it strengthens them, it motivates them to say, I can, I will, and I shall survive, as one of our shirts say, because that's just what it's about. Of you to God and trusting and believing that He has you. You don't need a safety net. You just thank you platform.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Anybody that's listening, go to wearesurvivorsfoundation.org.
Yes.
And connect with this power. I hope you will join us tonight at 7 when we come back on. I hope you're able to, so that if anybody has any questions, they can think about them today and come back on this evening.
Let's bring pictures of the tickets. They're beautiful. Whoever the graphic artist is awesome.
Have your links ready because we want you to do that.
Yes, and actually, I was trying to see. I know I got some tickets somewhere. I was trying to see if I can find. Here they go.
I know she has tickets.
Now I'm trying to do this with one hand.
We can't see them.
I had to get them out. First, put them.
Oh, you're still digging around in your purse.
Yeah. Oh, look how beautiful.
Gorgeous. They are gorgeous. I can't wait. I just can't wait. I don't know what I'm gonna wear. I'll have on a sheet and some pretty earrings. It'd be toga style.
And those were actually, this picture was actually taken at the venue.
Wow.
So we tried
wow. Beautiful.
And we tried to incorporate everything into in the actual picture. So that is actually where the dinner is going to be held, on that floor. I'm excited about the venue. And we have probably about, right now, give or take 60 models that's going to be in the fashion show.
Wow.
Wow.
So are you sold out, or do you have a few tickets left?
We have set aside some tickets, so we do have tickets left. Yes. So we have tickets left for any individuals that want to purchase. Like I said, you can actually conference, or if you just actually, you can also do it that way. I can send you the link.
Okay.
Please do, so that way they can get on you and they can get on and get tickets.
Yes.
So we love you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And hopefully you'll have time to get back on with us tonight at 7, because all the speakers were asking them to be on tonight. Central Standard Time. I keep forgetting we're Central.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Miss Wanda.
Thank you, Wanda.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. So, everybody, just so you know, the venue for the rest of the day, we're going to take a break and come back at 1 o'clock with another little powerhouse who has a different story.
Yes.
Different kind of story. But we will be back on at 1 o'clock. I hope that you will come on and be with us. This is the Hope to Hope Conference. The power of vulnerability is the topic.
Yes.
I am Kim White with the My Sexy Business Team.
And I am Cassandra Bradford Wilson with Genesis Preferred Solutions.
And we are so glad you're here. We will see you at 1
p.m. Central Standard Time.
Bye.